Okay, let's take a look at it and see what we got over here, and we'll try to relate it back to what we've done from the problem set. Going to go back to Sage. I do recommend resetting. Sometimes I forget to do that, and then I'll get all kinds of wacky errors. I also want to warn you about copy paste in general. By the way, you're copying from a PDF, and if you paste it into Sage, it's going to say there's an error, and it's pointing it out. And what it is, when I do the typesetting, it's taking those tick marks and turning them into quote marks. So I got to correct that. All right, put this over here. I'm going to correct this. It'll probably easier just to type it in, by the way. I'm going to correct it. And let's see what happens. Hit return. And I did okay there. Again, you could copy paste this. And what am I doing? I'm assigning A. I'm going to display A for you, show what it looks like. Now, certainly if you want to access A is an array. So you could say A, I want the first element in the array. And then it returned, and it gives me this over here. If I wanted to, find out just the number for that, I would give me the right-hand side of that entry. Relatively simple. I get, the right-hand side of the entry. And let me just do a copy-paste of these guys over here. This B is going to be the solution to that problem. All right. And again, display it if you want. C is the solution to that problem. And I'll go back over the notes again to show you where this problem is. And then this thing looks pretty wacky over here. And what is it? It says it takes all those solutions and it just basically, the reciprocals of those things and adds them together. And then you get this thing over here. Now, granted, I'm not sure why Sage doesn't simplify that because they're all the same denominator. And if you look at that over there, it's basically 11 plus log 7 plus log 5, which is just basically a product. But I do want to look back over the solution key and show you this is written down somewhere. Right over here, all right? And again, the answer is going to be 1. And this stands to reason. And let me go back to my Sage. I'll tell you why. If you looked at this thing over here, you would actually get, log 11 plus log 7 plus log 5, which same thing as log. Let me write that down for you. Well, I'm not going to do the log. I'll do 11 times 7. I'm adding logs together. It's a product of their arguments, and then 5. And what's that going to give you? 385. And 385, the log 385, whatever it is, divide by the log of 385 is going to be the number 1. And that's how we're doing the number 1 over here. Okay? All right, let me go back to the Sage thing. By the way, I also asked Wolfram Alpha to do problems, and it's certainly different than using Sage, but I do want to encourage you to use Sage, by the way. All right, there's another one over here. I want to point out again, copy-paste. It's a different problem, by the way. An error is going to come up. So I'm going to correct the error before I do it. And what's that error going to be? The tick marks. And this can happen when, especially for those students that are computer science majors, you're going to do a copy-paste, and then you're going to find out things aren't working as advertised. Probably it's not copying the same characters you think it's copying. And computers are quite thuggish. They want to see the right character. That's my variables. I'll go back over the notes in a moment, but I want to put out what these things are doing. EQ1 is a placeholder, and it's being assigned an equation. And I do see that equation. I'll look back over the notes in a moment. And again, EQ2 is a placeholder, and it's being assigned an equation. And again, we'll go back over the notes, look at this. Now this over here, they want me to solve a system of equations for the variable x and y. All right, going to go back over the notes. And I want to point out where that problem is. It's this problem. Let me go back to Sage and point out the problem. I have, x, y, and I have a and b, and that's why I'm defining these things as variables. Although a and b are parameters, I'm treating them like variables in the problem. All right, and then the two equations I'm looking at that we typed in over here, one equation, 3x squared minus 5xy equals the product 2a minus b times a plus 7b. I see that. And the other one is x plus y. That's the second equation I'm seeing over there. And that's going to be equal to 3 times a minus b. And then this command over here basically says solve it, and they get an answer on it. And the question is, are we getting the same answers? And the answers we're getting over here, x equals 2a minus b, and y equals a minus 2b. I do see that. Let me make sure I got that written down for you. Yeah, I do. And the other one was this one over here. And because I realized when I was reading these things, I really, it looks so different when you typeset it. It does. And what's this one over here? Same denominator, so it's going to be minus a minus 7b, factor out of minus 1, and you get what I got over there. And then the second answer, looking at that over there, again, looking at it, I do see a come down of 8, and I do see 25a, and I do see a minus 17b. Things are working as advertised. You should appreciate how good Sage was at solving that system and how quick it was. All right, pay attention to that because we're pretty slow at doing things. At least I'm slow at doing things. Thank you.